Yo, it's Guido coming at you with a quick tip. We're going to show you a couple examples of using the clip on an autoloader or an auto reloader. The temptation with these is always to jump out and try to dump the clip, but sometimes it's a good idea to make that move, and sometimes it's not a fantastic idea. And it has a lot to do with where the other tanks are, where the enemy tanks are, what the hit points are relatively on the other tanks, and whether you can make the move, kill the thing you need to kill, and get to some kind of cover while you get reloaded and not expose yourself to a bunch of counterfire, because the temptation to jump out obviously then lets everyone else get a bead on you and take shots. You can see we've got this M454 over here. He's at 1,000 or 1,100 hit points. We have a WZ-120 with a 268 sitting there. Look at the mini map though. We can see that. Go ahead and increase the size. We have a CC Mark II, hits hard, has an autoloader on it as well, and there's a WT Alf. There's also some guys back here. There's a Minotauro was trolling around. So we got autoloaders and heavy tanks and all kinds of stuff. We're a lowly tier 8 in our AMBT, but we have 3 shells, and they both hit for 360. So that's about 1,000 damage that we can put out pretty quickly, and then we're going to need to reload. Now it's an auto reloader, so we're not going to be out that long before we get another shell, but it will be quite a long time before we get all 3 shells. So Woody's got himself right here. He's done some decent work. We have 1,333 damage, 765. And let's see what happens there. All right, so 426 goes into the M454. We look at those two guys, and the total is about 900 hit points. We can probably take all these guys down. We bounce one, we're in trouble. That's something to think about. But if we can be sneaky here, get in behind these guys, we might be able to do something here. And that looks like what Woody has decided to do. Now, let's think about this for a second, because we have a CC Mark I back here last seen. Now, he could be on this corner where this M60 is, or he could be one rock back. But we're going to use this big rock right here in front of us to cover from any of those shots, as well as the WT, which is right behind this rock right here. But he's going to have to come around and expose himself to the 268, which I'm sure that's why they're both hiding there, because they know that dude's there. He's permalit by these two. There is a danger of being shot from across on these other ridges, but right now we got Woody going in there, and this is a fairly decent risk to reward possibility here. Now he comes in here and he pops this guy, and what's really fascinating is this dude's front armor is to him. Good news is he's using his APCR. He has to go to the lower pole. He takes him down. Big man can't get his shot on fast enough. WZ realizes it, and he's a little late. And look, we can see the WT was thinking about it, right? But since we tucked up against the rock here, we minimize his ability to come all the way around this corner. If we'd have stopped out here in the middle, in this area, he'd have been able to pop around and take a shot, even with the 268. But we kept moving, and we got ourselves tucked up. All right, that's example number 1. That was a pretty good deal. That worked out for us. But let's take a look at this as Woody starts to figure out, hey, can I do this again? All right? And that's the idea here. He wants to reload all of his shots and see what he can do. But we've got a WT, a good hit point Minotauro with 1,000, and a CC with 1,000. So there's about almost 3,000 hit points here. Plus, where's this RHM? We're about to find out. We'll just go ahead and pop forward a little bit. All right, the RHM was seen up here. Okay, so he's up on this ramp, potentially some other snipers back there, but we know we got a Minotauro, we know we got a WT, both together, we know we have a CC, and we know we have an RHM. So he's going to try to come around here and do kind of the same thing. Now CC is out of the fight a little bit right now. Minotauro's right there. We find the WT, we thump him one more time, kill him, but we keep going and we just eat 2 shots. Oh, by the way, one of the guys in the middle got us too. Remember I talked about the other ones. So this particular move was probably not nearly as wise. So we got over there, we got our 2 shots. Pretty quickly going to get killed. This Minotauro actually bounces one, so we do get one more shot into him, but we eat another shot from the Centurion, who actually, that must have been a double shot. Oh, Minotauro and the Centurion. That was weird why it showed 400. Must have been, don't know. Anyway, we end up dying right there. All right, so two good examples. One good one of what I would say a pretty good risk to reward assessment, and then the second one, a not so good risk to a reward decision. We did 3,000. We got 771 assists. We're able to take out, how many tanks did he end up getting at the end? 4. He got one a bit earlier, I believe. So we got those 2. We got the WT. So nice job breaking down a good amount of this defense over here. But ended up costing us a tank and full hit points. So you gotta. It isn't easy sometimes with the autoloaders because you're really tempted to jump out there. Try to pay attention to where the rest of the guns on the map are, and if you're going to make those kinds of moves, try to make them when you can minimize the threat as much as possible. I thought the first one was definitely minimizing the threat, but the second one was a little iffy. Got a little bit more damage, but knocked us out of the game. That's all I've got for today's quick tip. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you.